when I first saw this story, I thought, what? Is this even possible? I thought it was like one of those kind of Alex Jones stories. But apparently not. And so I wanted to get one of the people that I think is one of the most effective, one of the most progressive, one of the most honorable, and one of my favorite. I mean, just one of the best people in the United States House of Representatives, Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky on the line. And Congresswoman, welcome back to the program.
Thank you so much.
And I hope it doesn't sound like I'm buttering you up. There's nothing I want from you.
I love that.
But these are my genuine sentiments, and I think it's appropriate to share them with my listeners.
It's mutual, too.
Well, thank you. I saw this headline, Blackwater CEO Erik Prince tried to intimidate Congresswoman Schakowsky. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. So what happened?
Well, they hand-delivered a letter that is the lawyer for Mr. Prince personally. That is not the company. So a representative of his, a lawyer of his, dropped off a letter at our office that essentially, in a number of different ways, it starts out, this firm represents Erik Prince concerning false and defamatory statements you have made against him. And basically threatens me with a lawsuit in this country and abroad.
Now, the abroad part is a little spooky because, as I'm sure you know, there are other, England probably the most conspicuous example. They have libel laws there that where public figures don't have immunity like they do here in the United States.
Right.
And Erik Prince has a lot of money.
Erik Prince does have a lot of money, but the very idea that he would threaten a member of Congress into silence, that, of course, was the goal. Mm-hmm. It is just not acceptable to me. The kinds of questions that I've raised about Mr. Prince and Blackwater as a member of Congress, through legislation and about other companies as well. I introduced legislation that would stop outsourcing our security. That's the name of the bill, the SOS bill. Right. It says that we should not rely on mercenary companies, private for-profit companies, to carry out the most sensitive missions of war or in any kind of a conflict zone. Mm-hmm. But I said that of all the companies that did that kind of work, that the one most notorious for misconduct has been Blackwater, and that's just a fact, and I intend, whenever it's appropriate, to keep saying that.
Now, Blackwater no longer exists. It's now XE or Z, right?
It's Z.
Okay. And didn't they move their base of operations outside the United States?
No, Z, I believe, is still in the United States. Mr. Prince, though still a U.S. citizen, I understand, has moved to Dubai, mm-hmm. And he has been involved in the marketing of a game, a video game called Blackwater. That he's so. Yeah. I don't know if he personally is involved in going to be marketing Blackwater in other ways, but there's a video game.
That's interesting. So the video game
he moved
glorifies
not to
Blackwater.
Dubai. I'm sorry, he moved to the UAE.
To the United Arab Emirates, yeah. Which, by the way, leads to our geeky science alert, which I'm going to get into after the break. We have this. This was studied. Was presented at the November 30th annual meeting of the Radiological Society of North America. For the first time, fMRI, functional magnetic resonance imaging, analysis of long-term effects of violent video games on the brain has shown changes in brain regions associated with cognitive function and emotional control. Anyhow, we'll get into that. Yeah.
Well, okay, there you go.
So we will get into that later. But so what is it that Mr. Prince is trying to shut you up about?
Well, he mentions quite specifically that I have gone to the Secretary of State. I raised concerns that Mr. Prince is now exporting his services because there was a report in the New York Times that now he may be assembling a kind of mercenary army, which he denies that allegation, but nonetheless, I wanted the Department of State to take a look at that. I have, he says, had a multi-year history of making derogatory comments about Mr. Prince and his former company. But as I mentioned in the statement that I made on the floor, there is a long list of alleged misconduct, from shooting and killing civilians to gun running. We've got 4 former Blackwater executives, including his former vice president, Gary Jackson, indicted in 2010 for weapons charges. The company has agreed to a $42 million administrative settlement with the State Department for 288 alleged violations of the Arms Export Control Act and international traffic in arms regulations. There's 7 civil suits that were settled, and legal action still pending against 4 Blackwater guards accused, as you may remember, of massacring 17 civilians in Baghdad's Nisr Square in 2007. Iraq said they had to be ousted, and the U.S. State Department refused to renew their contract. So this is the idea that we've got these mercenaries who are in a legal limbo, unclear to what extent they can be prosecuted for misconduct. And even former Defense Secretary Robert Gates in 2007 stated that the mission of many security contractors was, and I quote, at cross purposes to our larger mission in Iraq, unquote. And yet we're spending, just Blackwater alone had about $1.25 billion in contracts.
Right. So I'm curious what you're going to do with this. For example, Bill Clinton and I did a fundraiser for Congressman Jim McDermott about 3 years ago in Seattle to help raise $300,000 for his legal fees because he was being sued by Newt Gingrich.
Right.
And I mean, it can cost money when you get sued.
Yeah, I don't know that they'll actually sue, but I wanted to. This was my response to their letter, that if they thought that this was going to be successful and actually shutting me up and stopping my work, because I think this is one of the most important questions right now that we haven't asked. You know, the use of these private military contractors, which has the potential and in some cases the reality of compromising our mission and the safety of our troops and the morale of our troops, and costing lots and lots of money. That what is their role in wars? It's an important question right now, because as we remove our troops, our uniformed military, what role are private security contractors going to play? We never count them. When people, you hear about, we've heard over these years now about surges, but never counted are how many contractors are there actually.
Right. So this needs to be brought out into the light.
I think so.
I am so with you. And I'm still curious about their role in New Orleans after Katrina, but that's a whole
another one.
It's
exactly.
like
They were down there with loaded weapons, and this company in particular, but we've had the Armor Group with this kind of sexual hazing. We saw these pictures. Anyway, it's a lot of them, but especially Blackwater.
Very, very interesting. Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky, schakowsky.house.gov, ably representing the 9th District of Illinois. Congresswoman, please keep us informed on how this is going.
Will do. Thanks, Tom.
And keep up the great work in the House of Representatives.
And you keep up the good work.
I'll do my very best. Thank you so much for being with us today.